Wow. 4.38 in the 40-yard dash. That's remarkable. No wonder why you're a potential first-round pick in the NFL draft.
Oh, thank you.
All right, now, I've never seen a college senior run so fast with that body type before, you know?
Thank you.
Now, as you know, the NFL Combine ends with a comprehensive interview.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask you about that. I heard you guys have been asking people sort of inappropriate personal questions about their sexual orientation.
You know, it's a comprehensive interview. I mean, when an NFL team is shelling out big bucks for a guy in a draft pick, they want to know what they're getting, right?
Fine.
Okay. Name.
Gary the Dashwell.
Date of birth.
2/24/91.
College.
The Cuse.
Not so bad so far, right?
That's fine.
Sexual orientation.
See, this is what I was just talking about. What difference does it make when I just have to go out there and play football?
Just a formality. It's a comprehensive interview, right?
I'm straight.
Okay, great. When's the last time you kissed a man?
Do you hear what I just said? Okay, that's not my thing.
All right. Favorite kissing style?
What? Why?
Do you want to be in the NFL?
Open mouth.
All right, that's French, right?
Yes.
Eyes open or shut?
It depends on the situation.
Okay. With a man or a woman?
With a woman.
Have you dated any blondes?
Yes.
Brunettes?
Yes.
Redheads?
Yes.
Man blondes?
What is a man blonde?
A blonde who is a man?
No.
All right, we're almost done.
Good.
You like Glee?
No, not much. I think it's kind of overrated. What are you doing?
Does that do anything for you?
You standing there having a stroke? No.
Imagine I'm Anderson Cooper. Still nothing?
No. Where is this all going?
It's not a problem. Have you ever fantasized about a cartoon character?
Are you serious?
Like Jessica Rabbit, Tinkerbell, Josie from Josie and the Pussycats, right?
No, I haven't.
All right. Johnny Quest?
Come on.
Can I have some money?
Is that one of the questions on your clipboard?
No, I bought a yacht.
Then no.
All right. I need you to answer these as fast as you can.
Sure.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Joyful?
Yes.
Jolly?
Yes.
Merry?
Yes.
Euphoric?
Yes.
Untroubled?
Yes.
Cheery?
Yes.
Gay?
Yes.
All right, think we're done.
Oh, come on. Obviously, I thought you meant it like a synonym for happy, gay in the old-fashioned sense.
May have.
Are we done?
We are, and thank you so much. I'm going to see you on draft day, and thank you so much for coming to the NFL Combine.
Great pleasure. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me.
great. Take care.
What are you writing down?
Probable homosexual.
Yeah, you got me.
The BS of A with Brian Sack.
Good evening and welcome to the BS of A. I'm aspiring rapper Brian Sack. A recent Federal Trade Commission study found that millions of American consumers have errors on their credit reports that are serious enough to impact their ability to get credit. Here to provide some perspective on that is Sonny McElroy from the Consumer Data Industry Association, the CDIA.
Thrilled to be here, Brian. Really, genuinely tickled. You know, your show is the only major TV news outlet.
We're not a major TV news outlet.
All right, well, you got cameras and lights and stuff. You're the first fly-by-night TV news outlet to recognize this achievement by the credit reporting agencies that we represent. On behalf of the CIA, we thank you.
Okay, you mean the CDIA?
Potato, tomato. But I digest. With
Digress.
2 points. Okay, yeah, my bad. Digress. But so on behalf of the
Yeah.
CDIA, I want to thank you.
For what?
Well, for acknowledging our achievement.
But you're here to discuss the fact that millions of American consumers have significant errors on their credit report.
Up top.
Now, how is that something to celebrate?
Well, it means that nearly 98% of credit reports are basically accurate. High five.
No, that leaves as many as 10 million consumers who, through no fault of their own, have credit reports with serious errors that could cost them a loan, a job, security clearances, competitive interest rates.
Okay, but how many of those people are jerks?
How is that even a factor, Sonny?
Well, if we keep jerks from getting decent loans, that's a win right there. You know, 10 million, Brian, is just a number. Just a random number, one of many, just like a credit score.
A credit score is not a random number.
Okay, fine. Then explain why I'm a Flevendy Flevin.
Flevin is not a number.
It's my credit score.
No, that's not possible.
It's very possible, Brian. And trust me, you do not want to have a Flevendy Flevin hanging off you when you go into a bank, you should have seen the banker's face when I walked into his shop, tried to buy a boat.
Sonny, that's clearly an error, and you're obviously one of the 10 million people who have erroneous credit reports.
Does that mean I can get the boat?
I don't know, that's not up to me to decide, but is the CDIA even trying to rectify this problem?
Sure. But let's be realistic here. You can't put all the blame on the credit reporting agencies. American consumers have to take some of the blame here too.
For mistakes they didn't make.
Yeah, well, for not finding mistakes that they didn't make. If you find them, we'll fix them. But get this, fewer than 1 in 5 consumers check their credit reports. That's like 6%.
Okay, but you checked your credit report and it said you had a Flevendy Flevin.
That's right, Brian. I've made some mistakes in my personal finance. I've earned that score.
No, you didn't earn that score. It's not even a number.
Okay, you've said that like a jillion times, okay? I get it.
Okay, so your advice to consumers who have errors on their credit reports would be?
It would be this. Look, you can call me personally, okay? On behalf of all the credit reporting agencies, I will personally take care of your error, all right? My direct phone number, you should write this down. Get a pen. I'll give you a second. My direct phone number is 212-316.
And
I think it's really going to solve some problems.
you did 6 digits. Your phone number has to have 7 or 10.
It's like, you're like Rain Man. You're amazing.
We'll be right back. You expecting a lot of calls?
I haven't gotten any yet.
Now I'm very excited to announce the Blaze Network's very first game show. Let's take a jog and get ready to play.
Whose head is that?
All right, welcome to Whose Head Is That? The game show where we give a contestant 30 seconds to identify one of the 535 members of Congress based on the top of their head and nothing more. If they get it right, and this is completely real, they get a $1,000 gift card directly from our incredibly limited show budget. But if they get it wrong, as punishment, we donate part of that money to a charity that they actively hate. Let's welcome our first and only contestant, Matt Fisher.
Thank you. I'm definitely not going to do this right.
But you know how to do this. You know how to play the game.
Yeah, I'm going to look at a senator's hair and say Chuck Schumer and go back to writing at my desk.
Well, you're not going to go right back to writing at your desk because if you get it wrong, we're going to donate money to a charity that you actively despise.
Right.
Now, of course, we here on the staff know Matt, and we know he would hate to see money go to the ASPCA. Please tell everybody why that is, Matt.
I don't like pets. I think pets are a waste of time and money. No domesticated animal has the capacity to love or be loved, or their brains are too small to do anything that you would recognize as thought.
And Matt's aware that I just spent a fortune on a diabetic cat, and you really do feel this way.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. No offense, but yeah.
No, it's okay. So the more I know Matt, the less he makes sense to me. But it's okay. Now, you've got a list of the 535 members of Congress in your hands, and one of those names matches the one on my card. If you manage to get it right, the money's yours. And if not, we donate.
Sure.
30 seconds on the clock. Let's have the head up.
Too easy.
Here we go. Here's your head. 30 seconds, go.
All right, I don't know who that is. If you don't, please lower your expectations. It is a person in Congress?
It is a member of Congress.
It's kind of like John Clayton from ESPN. I have no idea.
Pick a name.
It's a white person who's balding, so
Yep.
we're going to
That's
say
most of Congress.
Tom Coburn of Oklahoma.
That is wrong. I'll give you one clue, and this is your last guess. According to Wikipedia, this congressperson has 3 children.
Oh, you don't say. Patrick J. Toomey of Pennsylvania.
That is incorrect, Matt. I'm sorry. The answer was Mick Mulvaney,
Oh, that was my next guess.
Republican from South Carolina's 16th district. I'm so sorry, Matt.
Oh.
Well, you know what that means.
Oh, right.
We're going to be donating money to the charity that Matt despises, the ASPCA. Ben, has that been done?
$25 has just been donated to help animals.
My diabetic cat has been vindicated. All right, until next time, this has been Whose Head Is That? I'm Brian Sack.
Thank you. Listen, anyone can do what I just did, please.
Welcome back. I'm joined today by 3 experts to discuss the issues of the day that are of interest to me. My first guest is Clearwater, Florida's #1 speedboat salesman. Please welcome Derek Gilly.
Hey, what's happening? Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
It's really great to be up here. A little cold, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
it is well compared. I mean, you don't seem to have dressed for the weather here.
Hey, man, I have one mode, and that is relaxation.
All right, my next guest is an employee at my favorite Scandinavian furniture chain. Please welcome IKEA saleswoman Jennifer Hayes.
Hi, Brian.
Hello.
For being your favorite chain, you have no IKEA furniture on this set.
No, well, I had no control over that. That's somebody else.
We
said
need
it.
your money.
I'm so sorry. Why would you need our money? You good?
No reason.
And my last guest appears as a harbinger of death. Please welcome Shannon, a banshee.
Thank you, Brian.
Well, welcome.
Thanks.
And you're here just because we invited you, not because there's something horrible about it.
We'll see.
All right, let's talk about the sequester, because it's in the news, apparently. It's a good thing, bad thing, depending on who you talk to. How do you think the sequester will affect you?
Well, here's the thing. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I say is, stay positive. Stay positive at all costs. So I don't want to be too negative about it, but it's really, the more money they take out of circulation, the more they put the pinch on people, the harder it gets down in Clearwater. If anybody wants to come down, crash in my house, just look at some boats, or just go grocery shopping, we'll go group grocery shopping, anything like that.
Is the speedboat market not doing well right now? Is it
There's a pinch. We're feeling the pinch. a little
luxury
bit.
item, really expensive?
That's the thing, is it has a reputation as a luxury item, but it's not.
It's
A
not?
speedboat is an absolute necessity for anyone. If you're single, if you have a family, if you don't have a speedboat, you're not prepared to leave the country. I know this is sort of like a conservative type organization. If you want to leave the country, good luck walking to, Australia or whatever.
What about Canada or something?
I mean, we're going to Canada now. That's out of the frying pan into the fire. Also, just recreation, relaxation.
Right.
You got to keep your head untangled.
So everybody needs a boat, in your opinion.
Everybody needs a boat. If I didn't have my
sequester
boat to go and go out into international waters and use drugs and think about the future, I'd probably lose hope.
Okay, well, speedboats for everyone.
Brian, you touched on something interesting to me, which is you said, depending on who you talk to,
Right.
some people like it, some people don't. That happens with a lot of things. Some people like to get a lot of sun. Some people don't, okay?
Right.
Some people have speedboats, some people don't.
Right.
Some people think horse meat is a delicacy, and some people don't. So,
Right.
just depending on who you talk to,
Right.
or what country you're in, okay?
Right.
Or how much money people have, some people would say it's delicious.
I mean, I'll say I've had horse meat before.
And you loved it.
I wouldn't say I loved it.
And he loved it. Hey, if I give you something delicious as a surprise treat and don't tell you about it, don't blame the cook.
Okay.
My surprise treat is death.
That's a treat?
No, people hate it.
Well, then you called it a treat. I mean, why would you call death a treat?
Sorry, that's a little underworld humor.
Oh, I see. So you find it funny.
I do. I do. But no, seriously though, Brian, people tend to like life more. And I find that that's something to remember when we're talking about big fancy words like sequestration and all that, It's a bunch of twiddle twaddle, really, Brian. It's twiddle twaddle.
Twiddle twaddle.
That's actually, incidentally, the name
If we
of an
just-
IKEA poof.
No kidding.
Twiddle twaddle,
That's
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bunch of furniture.
Oh,
That's
really?
all- yeah.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
That's just these arguments that are ridiculous. We remember that life is short. You all end up in the ground for much longer than you are above the ground.
Okay.
And so you should spend your time up here doing things that matter.
So not worrying about the sequester, whatever happens.
Probably not. I doubt it will be the word on your mouth when I come to visit.
No, I'll probably be screaming or running.
Oh, we'll be screaming, Brian. You will be.
Do you have any meatballs with you?
You know what? They've all been taken, unfortunately.
Taken by customers or by the FDA?
If you want to call the FDA a customer, because I bet they're enjoying those balls, then yes.
For a while now, we here at the BS of A have had what we call our under-the-table sponsors. These are small businesses or single guys who give us money that we don't share with the network in exchange for a commercial that the sponsor has absolutely no creative control over. This week's sponsor is Stacy's Quest, a thrilling young adult novel by A.K. Steele about a teenage girl, Stacy, who uses her rural smarts to try to save members of her family from the big city during a global catastrophe that could be the end of the world. Stacy's Quest is on sale at Amazon.com. We'll be right back. Have you guys read Stacy's Quest?
Twice.
If you've seen the BS of A with Brian Sack on The Blaze, then you know who I am. Otherwise, you don't, because you don't have The Blaze, and that makes me sad. According to the Office of Management and Budget, over 1.3 billion Americans don't have access to the Blaze TV. That's a sad and untrue fact. But you can help spread the Blaze around the country by calling your cable or satellite provider and requesting that they carry the Blaze network for all the great programming they offer, like White Guys at a Table.
Tonight's topic, diversity. Too much too soon?
The Angry Jim Show.
They're them, and they suck. And here we are. It's like, where'd our music go? We used to have music in this country.
And our popular children's show, Freedom Shack.
Hey kids, this is the United States Constitution. You might recognize it. Show me in here where it says you have a right to privacy, ladies.
Breakthrough favorite, Dr. Lauren.
Fluoride makes you gay.
And finally, the Blaze fills the holes in our programming schedule with 16 hours of discount stock footage. And classics like Real News, Independence USA, and of course, Glenn Beck.
Cows scare the hell out of me sometimes.
So please visit gettheblaze.com or call this number on your screen. And then this number. And then all these other numbers to be connected to your cable or satellite provider so that you can request HBO.
The Blaze.
The Blaze.
And now, the Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week.
I can still have the donuts and the beer.
The Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week has been brought to you by Stacy's Quest, a young adult novel by A.K. Steele. Get it today on Amazon.com.
Hey, Miss Hobbs, huh? Come on. You want a sip? Little sip.
Brian, we gotta get out of here.
Whoa! Well! It's my survivalist-minded cousin Stacy from the country.
Yep.
City mouse, country mouse. Come on, give Uncle Brian a hug.
No hugs, your hands wander. More importantly, there's been an EMP. We gotta go.
I could ask you what that means, but instead I'll look it up on Google. That's weird. My computer's down.
It's okay, I got my iPhone. All right, that's not working either. Damn. I'll just try the blender.
Go ahead.
It's as if there's no electricity, Stacy.
There's been an EMP, Brian. Do you know what an EMP is?
No, but I can Google it.
Brian, there's no Google anymore.
How can I Google if there's no Google?
Google's gone.
Gone?
Brian, electricity was destroyed when there was a high-altitude nuclear blast that created an electromagnetic pulse.
Electromagnetic pulse?
Electromagnetic pulse.
EMP, I get it.
Great. Tell me that you stockpiled emergency food.
Did you stockpile emergency food? No, did you?
Yes.
Okay, that makes my sarcastic response seem stupid.
Okay, did you make any preparations at all?
I once told my wife if anything ever happened, gather up all the wine and meet me in the Lincoln Tunnel.
Your family's emergency plan is to grab wine? What about your kids? Okay, you know what? Tell me you have some food in your apartment.
We have a fridge full of Greek yogurt. But without electricity, it's bound to get warm. Oh my God, this isn't happening.
Okay, Brian, listen. I'm a savvy country girl, and you're a big city dum-dum. I'm gonna help you. You're gonna need this. Brian, electricity was destroyed. Remember?
How do I call 911 and report that assault weapon?
Brian, that's a pistol.
It's an automatic shotgun pistol.
You city people know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, you country people with all your food supplies and your water and your survivalist instinct and your guns and... Oh my God, I'm gonna die, Stacy!
No, Brian, no. You're not gonna die. I'm gonna help you.
And me?
And you too, Ben.
Let's just focus on me for now.
Stacy's Quest by A.K. Steele. In the aftermath of a devastating calamity, a young girl struggles to save herself, her family, and her friends. Spoiler alert, her trip to the shopping mall is ruined.
And we're back with Derek, Jennifer, and Shannon. Let's talk about the meteor that came out of space and smashed into Russia. People are now terrified of space rocks coming in and destroying all of humanity. What if it did happen? What if you had 2 weeks before the Earth was destroyed? What would you do?
Well, this is maybe a personal thing. It's not, maybe not for everybody, but in 2006, Dave Barry wrote a novel that had a character that was based on me personally.
No
It was
kidding.
a very derogatory depiction of a guy, a very lost person. And so I swore on my parents' grave that I would get him. And so if I only had 2 weeks left, I would have to hop into my Toyota Echo, go down to Miami and sort that out.
And kill Dave Barry.
I mean, again, it's grim business, but hey, a meteor's hitting the world. I'm not going to be the only guy who's out, who's putting a bunch of steak knives in the back of a suit, like Toyota Echo, to go kill Dave Barry or someone else. Probably lots of people on Dave Barry. I'm going to have to hurry.
Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi. What would you do? 2 weeks left.
Brian, have I seen a bunch of space rocks hitting Russia and destroying Russia's reputation?
Oh, I see.
When I said space rocks, I meant meatballs. And when I
Gotcha.
said Russia, I meant IKEA. And when I said Russia's reputation, I meant IKEA's reputation,
Because
okay?
the meatballs had horses.
And people thought IKEA had 2 weeks left, but we're still strong, okay?
Sure.
We're still moving and grooving
But
with our
what would
flaums.
you do? What would you do for 2 weeks?
Work at IKEA, Brian.
For 2 weeks.
I love it there.
2 weeks left, and everything's gonna end, and you're gonna work at IKEA for 2 weeks?
If I could.
Okay.
If I could for my last maybe 3 days on Earth, because I'm loyal to my company.
Apparently.
And they are green and they flat ship and I love it. I would like to work at Restoration Hardware for 1 day.
Fair enough.
Stuff is comfortable there.
Shannon?
Brian, take a listen to this for a second.
Sure.
Now, I want you to imagine doing that over 2 billion times.
Okay, just-
That's going to be my life
Right.
if the meteor hits.
What about the other 5
That's
billion
called
people?
working a double in the underworld. All right?
That's a lot of screaming.
Tis a lot of screaming, Brian.
What about the other 5 billion people?
Well, I don't. Ricky takes care of that.
Oh, Ricky,
Yeah,
would
we
you handle-
split. We
like
tend
you
to
do
split.
India and China
Yeah,
or
he
something?
takes. Yeah.
That's all the time we have for this week's BS of A. Please join us next week for a brand new episode. You can like us on Facebook, love us on Twitter. I'm your host, Brian Sack, and tomorrow night I may be on Celebrity Apprentice giving a check to Penn Jillette, or I might have been totally cut out of the whole show. Regardless, have a wonderful weekend. Good night. What kind of discount can you get me on the boat?
Hey, if you're going to be the first boat I sell this year, I'm afraid you're going to have to go rack rate. I apologize. I'm a Flevy Flevin.